Yo, what is going on, boys? So, in today's video, I'm going to be doing some exposing. I'm going to be showing the weirdness that goes on within the Sparking Zero community. I'm going to be exposing players for boosting, for cheating, for being toxic, like toxic beyond a weird level. And if you're not into that kind of stuff, then feel free to click off. But I've had enough of it, and these people need to be exposed. They need to be publicly humiliated. So, as you can see, I am showing replays I've had against a player named Albe, who is within the Italian community on Sparking Zero. More specifically, this Alex Farigo community, because not every Italian player are like these people within Alex Farigo's community. There are many great Italian players. It's just that for some reason, Alex Farigo amassed a very cult-like following. They're undyingly loyal. They'll come up with the most illogical responses to us pointing out that Albe and Alex Farigo have boosted each other, which if you didn't know, Albe ended Season 0 at Rank 2 on DPPC, and yeah, he tried boosting to overtake Schromer, who was number 1, and I'm going to be showing you guys all the proof, but you guys can see I'm fighting Albe here. He is not much of a challenge to me. I beat him 10-3. I only saved 3 of those replays, unfortunately. I wish I had all of them, but they consider Albe to be their best player, and he was not much of an issue for me, and I don't consider myself to be the best player on Sparking Zero when they consider Albe to be like the best player, like the messiah of Sparking Zero. Now, before I go over all the proof that Albe and Alex Farigo and many within the Italian community are boosting each other, I would like to talk about my very first interaction with Albe, and to say the least, it was not a very pleasant interaction. So, on March 1st, I was hosting a tournament that I held myself, and I invited many of the top North American players. I basically invited almost all of them. Almost every player within that tournament was top 50 on the leaderboards. And Albe pulls up to my stream and says, "As you can see, I'm top 1, man." He also says skill cap in this tournament is an average B tier, which is kind of crazy because, as I said, I beat him 10-3, and many of those players in that tournament were honestly better players than me. So if that tournament that I held was average skill cap at B tier, I wonder what Albe is, considering that many of those players were better than I was. So clearly there's an ego issue going on here. Clearly Albe has a lot of pride about his leaderboard rank. He talks about being number 1. He talks down on other players that he deems to not be as good, when in reality they're probably just as good or even better than he is. And yeah, the entire community just glazes him to no end. Like, before we set up these matches, there was this one guy who messaged Schromer. Schromer is the number 1 player. I play against Schromer all the time. I know how good Schromer is, and he deserved to be number 1, and he was number 1 without boosting. But, as I was saying, someone messaged Schromer, and you could see in these screenshots, he says stuff like, "Oh, Albe has fought Alwuhu, Elwa, and he has beaten them," when at the time, I've never played Albe. Never. And then when I saw those messages, I was like, okay, I want to challenge Albe now. I really want to see how good he is. Apparently he has beaten me, and he's better than me, but I never even played him at the time. So I message him on my Discord. I say, hey, let's get some matches in. And it's the matches you're seeing here. As I said, I beat him 10-3. And at the time, I didn't know he was a booster. I didn't think anything of his leaderboard rank. I didn't really care. I never suspected anything, so had I known he was boosting, I would have saved all the matches and you would have seen how badly I beat him. We ran some 3v3s, and he was just sweating his balls off. It was funny. He chose Base Jiren, Superhero Gohan, and Raccoon, while I chose Super Saiyan Trunks, Android 19, and who else? Baby Vegeta, which isn't a bad team, but it's not as sweaty as his team was, which is hilarious. And I ended up beating him, even though he was on that meta 3-man team. But yeah, as you guys can see, my introduction to their community was not the best. First, it was Albe being toxic, saying that all the people within my tournament is basically dog shit. And then this one random guy comes in saying that Albe has beaten me, which is a complete lie. And you'll see they lie about so many things. They just lie. I don't get it. Alright, now I'm going to talk about the proof of them boosting. I'm going to show you guys some screenshots of leaderboards, and these screenshots are a matter of days apart. So Alex Ferrigo, as you can see, went from 48,000 points to then 53,000 points. Over 5,000 points in a matter of a few days at that high of a rank is absolutely insane. If you didn't know, when you get to about top 10, you have to fight people within top 50 to top 100. At the top 3 rank, you have to fight people within like top 20. So that means anybody else that you fought outside of the top ranks at top 3 to 5 meant you got 0 points from them. You had to fight top level players, meaning we would know all these people that he had to get points off of. He had to get someone from the leaderboards that we see all the time. We know every player he could possibly get points off of. So what do? We do some investigating. We know that Alex Ferrigo streams on Twitch, makes YouTube videos. So we looked up his YouTube and we found a very interesting clip of him getting #1 off of Divinity Unleashed, which Divinity Unleashed is a part of my Discord community. I play with him a lot, I lab with him a lot, I talk to him a lot. And at the time, Divinity was taking a break from Sparking Zero. When Alex Ferrigo uploaded that video, we were like, how? Divinity doesn't play. Not at that time, at least. He took like a month break. And we look at this player card, all of it is wrong. None of it is right. Like, he has totally different player card than all of that. And that just showed several red flags, because for one, that's clearly not the real Divinity Unleashed. And two, he was running a 13 DP team. You think a top 30 player at the time is pulling up to DP ranked with a less than 15 DP team? That's just insulting. And thirdly, he didn't show how many points he gained at the very end. He just shows the win screen and then immediately cuts to the leaderboard showing that he got #1. He didn't show how many points he got off of that Divinity Unleashed. Now, some people might be asking, oh, maybe it's just the second Divinity Unleashed, which is impossible, because if there was a second one, like I said, in the top 3 ranks, you have to be fighting someone within top 1 to 50. You have to, otherwise you'll get 0 points. There was only one Divinity Unleashed in the leaderboards, and it was the Divinity Unleashed in my community. And like I said, he wasn't even playing the game at the time, and it wasn't even his player card, and it wasn't even his team that he was running. So it just makes no sense. What they did is they just took one of their Smurf accounts, renamed them, and then just played in player match, because they didn't even show the amount of points that was gained at the very end. It just cut immediately to the leaderboard showing that he got #1. And that just showed so many red flags, and we were just like, how are you playing against Divinity Unleashed? Because like I said, Divinity at the time hasn't even played. You could see in the screenshot, it says last played on May 8th. Ferrigo uploaded that video on May 26th. Divinity hasn't even played. They made a fake account of Divinity Unleashed, which is weird. It's so weird. And you could see in the win screen, Ferrigo's game is set in Italian. Divinity's game is set in English, and he queues up, same language, meaning it would be impossible to match into Alex Ferrigo, because it's not the same language. Divinity does not queue up any language. So with all of that being said, the suspiciousness of it all, Shomer leaves a comment asking who he actually fought, because that cannot be the Divinity Unleashed we know, and if it was another person named Divinity Unleashed, he couldn't have possibly given Alex Ferrigo points, because, like I said, like I keep saying, you have to be top 20 to give points to the #1 player. And then within a matter of minutes, Alex Ferrigo deletes the video, takes it down, and then comments on Shomer's page, giving him his Discord, and they talk to each other through Discord. Now I'm going to show you guys the entire conversation. There were some messages that were deleted. The messages that were deleted was at the very end, Alex Ferrigo shows that he's queuing up with Hercule and he throws away all of his points, which we never asked him to throw away all of his points. But the reason why he does it is because he probably has a guilty conscience. He knows he got caught. And we kept asking, who are you playing against that gave you this many points? Who? And then he said, oh, I played against Flat Ray. I played against Darglass. I played against Albe, whatever. When half of those players, we looked at their points, we looked at the amount of games they played, because we could see all of that through the leaderboard. None of their accounts went up. Their points didn't change, their amount of games that they played didn't change, their win percentage didn't change, because at the time they were currently inactive. They weren't playing the game. The game was in a pretty bad spot at the time, to be fair. And it's just like, you did not play those guys that you claimed to be playing. You played someone else. You were playing on a Smurf, you boosted that Smurf account all the way up to top 50, and then you just used that account to give your main account points, 5,000 plus points. So, since Alex refused to be truthful, we did a little bit of research on the leaderboard. We looked through every account and we noticed there are some accounts that are a little weird. Like you could see, in the rank 90s, there's this guy named Alfonso. We looked at his profile and his name used to be top 50 Italiano. I remember that guy, he was top 20, meaning he dropped from top 20 to number 90 something, showing that he lost a lot of points. And you could see his name. He has a name in Italian which translates to English, minion of Alex Ferrigo. You couldn't pay me to glaze someone that hard, to dick ride someone that hard. You couldn't pay me to do that. That's insane. And not only that, but I know people in their server, and that person is telling me what they're saying and showing me what they're saying. And as you can see, Letterface, who is that top 50 Italiano guy, the Alfonso guy, is telling Alex Ferrigo that he is his points provider. And how they're doing this is they literally just have Alex Ferrigo or Albe playing on an account. They win several times because of course they are still good players despite being boosters. They just win, they grind up, and then they use that same account, have someone queue on that account and bump into Alex Ferrigo and Albe's main account. Maybe they'll queue up items because nobody is queuing items on this game. I don't know why items is a thing in ranked. So you do that and then you just come across each other all the time, and that's how they get their free points. But yeah, believe it or not, that's just the beginning of it all. Like I said, this part just ended with Alex Ferrigo saying, oh, I'll give you back your number 1 Stromer. I'm going to queue up with Hercule and I'm going to throw away all of my points because I don't care about number 1. I don't care about leaderboards. This is a dead game. Nobody cares. And it's just like, they could acknowledge that this is a dead game. Why would you boost in a dead game? But they're boosting. They're clearly boosting, obviously boosting. If you understand that logic that boosting in a dead game is stupid, why do you do it? And we all know why they do it. It's because they have a huge ego. The game could literally have 10 players and they would still boost to be number 1 because their ego just needs it. Like I said, you guys could see in the beginning, Albe just bringing other people down, thinking that he's better than, oh, B rank ad gameplay. Oh, the skill cap in this tournament is B rank. Oh, and by the way, Alex Ferrigo's Twitch got banned because he was being racist. He said the N-word in someone else's stream and then he got banned. So that's pretty funny to see. And I've heard that his entire community is pretty racist. And I'll show you guys later, they are being racist to me, so there's proof of it. So, that was just part 1 of all of this. Now let's fast forward to June 23rd. Part 2, where Albe is proven to be boosting. And I'll just say before I talk about all of this, they are just so dumb. Like, they are the worst liars ever. I've never seen anyone that's so bad at lying. I mean, let's say for example in part 1 as well. There was no reason for him to have uploaded a fake video of him playing against Divinity. That was dumb. Like, we wouldn't have ever questioned anything if he just never uploaded that video. Like, there was no reason to do that. Who are you convincing? Convincing the people in your community who would just believe any lie you say anyway? They cover your ass anyway. Who are you convincing? You're not convincing the Americans by providing this fake video. And you're not convinced, you don't need to convince your own community because they'd lie for you anyway. I don't understand who are they doing this for. So, as I was saying, fast forward to June 23rd. In the last hour before the ranks reset, Albe gained 1949 points. And Alex Ferrigo, although you can see he changes his name in between to try and take suspicion off of him for whatever reason, I don't know. Alex Ferrigo also loses 1949 points. And in these higher ranks, you gain whatever your opponent loses. So it's very suspicious that Albe gained exactly what Alex Ferrigo lost. And you could do the math yourself. You could see that Albe gained 1949 and Alex Ferrigo lost 1949. Therefore, they were playing against each other. And not to mention, this was 30 minutes before the ranks reset. 30 minutes. You could see Albe's wins go from 1738 to 1751, meaning he played 13 games. He won 13 games in 30 minutes. That is impossible. As you all know in the previous meta, it always went to timeout, meaning each match lasted at least 6 minutes. 6 minutes times 13, that's over an hour of gameplay. Not to mention waiting in queue, waiting for cutscenes to end, waiting for the intro, all of that. What he did was impossible. What he did was queue up, find Alex Ferrigo. Alex Ferrigo must have been on Hercule or something, and then Albe just kills him within a matter of seconds. Now, many people might say, oh, he just played Alex Ferrigo 13 times in a row. That doesn't mean he's boosting necessarily. He just played him 13 times in a row, and sometimes that happens, right? Especially in a game that's this dead, you'll just come across the same person over and over. But this is the part where they're just terrible liars, and it's just weird. A lot of people from their community came into my server saying, oh, Albe is not playing Alex. Like, matter of fact, Alex isn't even home right now. He's on vacation. He's on a train right now. He can't be playing. Like, he sent me a picture of himself on a train right now. He's not playing. And the reason why Alex did that, I guess, is to create an alibi saying that, like, he's not boosting these. He's not even home right now. He won't be home to play on the rank reset. So if that's the case, how is Alex losing points during this rank reset? If you're on a train, if you're supposedly on a train, how are you losing points and all of those points are going to Albe? So you just exposed yourself again. How do you expose yourself this badly? Like, if you wanted to lie about it, just say, oh yeah, I just played Albe 13 times. And it is what it is. The game is that I came across him. But no, they had to create some alibi, which completely screwed them because it's not like, it's like they think we can't see the stats in the game. We can't see how many points he's losing. Like the only explanation for this is if Alex was truly not home, Albe must have been logged into his account, or someone must have been logged into his account and queuing into Albe to give him points. Regardless, that's boosting. And regardless, you just exposed yourself. These guys are terrible liars. I don't understand it. They're dumb. And in the end, they couldn't boost their way to #1, and that really made them upset. Like, we know that made them really, really upset. Well, first off, Schromer was so far ahead of them that they still couldn't boost to get to #1. And it's just funny because Albe gained over 5,000 points in like an hour. That is impossible. You cannot do that. And like I said, they keep using this whole, oh, why would I boost in a dead game argument. We all know why you would boost in a dead game. It's for ego. After you guys were done boosting, people would send screenshots of Alex Ferrigo owning all nations or whatever, or like Albe owning Schromer. It's just so weird. Like I keep saying, they're doing this for ego. And that's all it is. They just have this weird obsession with the game that they have to be #1, and I don't know why. Okay, so that's the end of part 2. Now, let's get to part 3 of this whole situation, which is current day. As you can see, I have a screenshot up of the current leaderboards. You can see I'm #9, and there are a few things to note here. You can see Kirari and Rengoku is #1. That is a new person in this whole situation. He is also a part of Alex Ferrigo's community. His name on Discord is Askedit Sosa, and he was in my server actually. And as you can see, this guy is just a total weirdo. Very weird. And not only that, but he cheats as well. There's proof of him abusing the Rage Quit glitch, which if you didn't know, there's a glitch going around that allows you to Rage Quit on opponents without losing any points, thereby boosting your account because you're only going to take W's. And you can see in the clip, he abuses the glitch, and you could see also I posted him confirming that he is Michael GFX on PlayStation. Okay, now let's move on to other suspicious things. You can see someone's name is Nice Boosting Schromer, which is Alex Ferrigo. And you can see his win rate is 100%. Now, of course, it's possible to have a 100% win rate, but we all of us highly doubt that he legitimately has a 100% win rate. He is just abusing the Rage Quit glitch to maintain a 100% win rate. There is no way you just don't lose to a laggy player. You just don't lose at all, especially in this new patch where high DPs are supreme and they do a ton of damage. One mistake and you could lose the whole game off of that. Snowballing in this new meta is huge. You could snowball to a loss very easily. It's not like pre-patch where you could go on easy 100 game win streaks. You're telling me he won 140 games in a row? That's insane. There's no way, especially considering his history of cheating and boosting. Now, let's talk about what Albe is potentially doing to boost. And this also includes Alex Ferrigo. You could see all of these different accounts that are level 0, meaning they're new accounts. They all only have one friend, and it's either Albe or Alex Ferrigo. Now, why do they have to friend their main account? The reason why they have to friend their main account is because that's how they family share their Sparking Zero. That way they don't have to keep buying Sparking Zero again. So what they do is they use this Smurf account, they climb up the ranks, they take points away from other high rank players, they climb up the ranks. Once they're a high enough rank, they could go play each other on their main account with this account, and then just boost each other without having to actually play against each other. They just play each other on an account they don't care about. And then they're probably waiting till the end of the season to just boost to number 1. Now I want to focus more on this Thomas account, which you can see is number 10, and you can see Albe was streaming on this Thomas account. This is proof that he is just trying to climb with alternate accounts, and then he will use those alternate accounts to boost his main account. I guarantee you later, a lot of these different accounts that are in the top of the leaderboards, they're gonna drop. They're gonna drop in points soon. And it's so funny because I've told Albe, hey, if you want to prove that you're not boosting, then stream yourself playing. That way you could show that you're not abusing any sort of rage quit glitch, you're not lag switching against people who are winning, you're not playing against, you're not cherry picking your opponents. Just show yourself playing the game and you could show you're legitimately grinding number 1. And it's funny, he shows himself grinding his alt account. Why? Just grind on your main account. And the reason why he doesn't is because he would lose on his main account. He finds these people who he loses to and then he blocks them. But yeah, that's basically the end of this video. There's a lot more to this, but this is basically the meat and potatoes of what's going on and like how their community is just ruining it for most of EU. And it sucks. It sucks. And this is a big reason why Sparking Zero is just not what it was hyped up to be. It's just half the reason is because of the community, the cesspool that is this community. And it's really sad. It's very, very sad.